Welcome, Aicha Coulibaly and Maddy Westbeld to the Chicago Sky. We'll open up to questions from the media. We'll start with Julia.
Hey guys, welcome to Chicago. Julia with the Chicago Tribune. Same thing that I asked Haley. I was just wondering if both of you could kind of take us through what conversations, if any, you had pre-draft with the Sky, and then just kind of what your draft night experience was like being drafted here.
Yeah, so I had my first conversation with Tyler and Jeff last week, and we had a short Zoom call, but you really felt the energy within the Zoom call, and just how personable they were. Kind of like Haley said, you didn't really have to prove who you were as a person or who you were as a player. It was like a natural, I believe in you. And that's really all that I could ask for. And I think since then it was just like, I sincerely hope that I get to be a part of an organization who believes in you from the start, and you don't necessarily have to prove that. And so I'm so blessed to be here and so grateful for this opportunity. From draft night, it was a very emotional, very just exciting opportunity. I was at home with my family. We ended up having kind of a big draft party, so I was able to be in front of my friends, all my family, old high school teammates. Just a very full circle moment to be with the people that I love the most. And so for me, it was I couldn't ask for anything better for a night as big as that was to, see my dream come true.
Hi. Just to piggyback up on what she said, I had a couple conversations with some teams, but this was the best conversation I had, and I felt comfortable right away, and just them believing in me because of who I am and what I do on the court, and just watching me throughout the year. I just felt comfortable. I told Jeff, I felt like I've known you for 10 years. The conversation was that good, and I just feel like being around people like that, and that's what brings the best out of me. And I'm so grateful to be here and be part of this franchise. And I'm so glad that I came here, and I can't wait to see what's next. And from the job, I just watched it with my teammates and my coaches. They dragged me out of bed, and we just, watch. It was an amazing feeling. And I'm so glad that I got to do it with the people that are close to me.
I know you're coming off of a knee injury. Can you kind of walk us through where you're at in terms of rehab and what the expectation looks like for you, given that you are kind of in the middle of that process?
The recovery is going really well. I already had surgery, and then just keep working on what I have to do, and just keep the main thing, and stay focused and getting strong, and just working on the thing I need to work on, and just be ready for next season whenever I'm ready to go. And I'm excited for it.
Last one for me, Maddy. Jeff has talked a lot about wanting to kind of bring this different version of kind of like a stretch big into the Sky and have that be a big part of this team's identity. How do you feel like you fit into that with your part of your game?
Yeah, I'm so excited. Me and Jeff have talked a lot about that, and just my ability to stretch the floor, my ability to be versatile. And so I'm really excited to see my game translate into the league, matching players' physicality, but also being able to stretch the floor and, create space for the rest of my teammates. I think that's going to be really important, and a really, just great transition for me into this league, and, a great way that I can find success.
We'll go to Andy and then Chris.
I'm Maddy. Hi, Aicha. Andy Diedrich, Honor Daily News. Welcome to Chicago. Maddy, I'll start with you. You're coming off still a great season despite having foot surgery, rehabbing that and everything. Put you in some unfamiliar territory, sitting out of games and actually starting some games off the bench, rather. How have you used that time off and those different experiences positively, and how can you apply it to your getting pros?
Yeah, absolutely. Up to that point, I had never sat out a game ever. And so having that, to start out a season on the sideline, taking care of what I need to take care of, but also understanding that I'm a leader on this team. I was the captain of the team, and, it was my team. And so being on the sideline, I was trying to figure out how can I be the best teammate as possible. And so I would sit, watch practice, observe my teammates, see what they do. What do you do when you turn the ball over? How do you run back on defense, and how do you kind of react to that? And so just being very observant and seeing how do my teammates react the best, and how can I get the best out of them so that when I'm back on the court with them, I can understand them on a better level. And so, I think I was really able to do that. And then, also just enjoy the process. do not take it for granted, you know, that time to rest and that time to heal mentally, kind of internalize all of the things that I needed to, and, you know, just prepare on every level possible and every angle. So for me, it was definitely a blessing in disguise to be able to rest like that.
Thank you. And then Aicha, I'll go to you real quick. These last 2 seasons at A2, you're more efficient in terms of scoring and shooting percentage. What have you worked on to make that the case, and how are you planning to also bring that into the pros?
Being a Texan now was a blessing for me, and just being around Joni Taylor, they had a vision for me coming in, you know, just having my workouts, like plans and stuff like that. And I just followed the plan and trust and believe. And then, you know, I work on it every single day. I wanted to be more efficient, and we had talked about it, and then being there was a blessing. And when the season came around, I just showed out and do what I have to do, and just be there for my team, help the team as much as I can, and just do what I do and not force anything. I just let the game come to me and just stay focused on what I have to do. So that was pretty good for me.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
We'll go Chris and Christian.
Hi, guys. Welcome to Chicago. I'm Chris with Fox Chicago. Maddie, really quick to start. One of the big things that one of the strengths of you as a prospect in WNBA is someone who could do it all, kind of like the dirty player, kind of doing the things to help the stars and help other players shine. Well, what about that role is something that you were able to take and really just kind of make into your something that was your identity?
Yeah, me and Tyler had a great conversation about this, you know, just being able to bring my physicality and really embrace that. I think that is what is going to translate the best into this league. And I think just, you know, it opens up the door and it opens up the floor for everybody else to, you know, have somebody who they can really rely on no matter what. Every day, who's going to come in, who's going to do their work. And, you know, ultimately have their back. So I think for me, exploring, you know, what is going to translate, being such a versatile player, what is going to translate, and, you know, what am I going to lay to rest in college? But I'm really excited to kind of challenge the body work that I created and just, you know, embrace what will be translated. So I'm excited.
I should, we had a chance to ask Taylor kind of about what makes you such a great player. She said you're a two-way player. That's the one thing, one of the best two-way players that she's been around. And what side of the ball do you pride yourself on the most, offensive or defensive?
I would say defensively, because she put that in me. Even going there, I feel like I pride myself a lot on defense, and that's where I get juiced up to play the game. So just getting stopped for the team and just diving for the ball for loose balls and just doing the little thing, I would sacrifice my body. I really don't care. It's just, you know, it's what it takes to play the game. And playing for Joni, you know, she instilled that in me, and before every single game or after every single game, she would just before the game, she would give me the best player every single game, and she challenged me every single day in practice, guarding the best player, the scout team. So I just took pride in it and just, you know, enjoy the moment while I do it. And defensively, it's where I'm best at, and that's what I expect myself to bring to the league and just help this team.
We'll go Christian, second row on your left.
Hi, Maddie, Aicha, welcome and congratulations on being here. So you guys are both headed into a really tough training camp. There's going to be a lot of players. How do you stay mentally strong, and what do you lean on to make sure that you do your best during training camp?
Yeah, I think it all comes from preparation, being confident in what I bring to the table. I think, you know, the only thing that you can control is yourself and, you know, exactly what you can control. So for me, it's just, you know, making sure that I'm in the best shape possible, making sure that, you know, my body feels good, my mind feels good, and, you know, just being as confident as I truly can be and understanding what I bring to the table.
Same question, yes.
I feel like it's gonna be physical, but I feel like you know, whenever it's time, I'm ready to, you know, face the challenge, because I'm a very physical player and passionate about the game, and just being able to learn from others, and at the same time working on myself and just do what I do best, and just you know, continue to work hard and play hard.
And then just second question, it's for both of you. Is there any player in the WNBA that you really model your game after, and why?
I think I modeled my game after, I love Jackie Young's game. She's strong, and defensively, she played both end of the floor. And I watch a lot of her games and stuff like that. I also like Michaela's game from here at Chicago Sky. I think we play very similar and just, learning from her, coming in, learning from her and just doing a bit.
I mean, for me, I've always watched Bree Stewart. I've always watched Nafisa, and I think just their ability to be efficient when they catch the ball, their ability to be incredibly decisive when they catch the ball, and just stretching the floor and knowing exactly what they're doing on the floor. I think it's I've always watched them, and I've always just seen myself in that kind of role. So like Haley was saying, not necessarily copying any player, but trying to be a sponge and see, what is successful and how can I, kind of mold into what a successful player looks like in this league.
Move to Carly Bell on Zoom, please unmute.
Hi, Maddie and Aicha. This is Carly Bell with Courtside with Carly Bell. Welcome to the city of Chicago. First question is going to be for you, Aicha. Obviously, coming into the league is something that provides different challenges for all types of players. And when you play, in the SEC at both Auburn and Texas A&M, you're playing against top 5 talent. What are some things that you have seen in just your career playing in SEC and going against current WNBA players consistently that has given you a lot of confidence heading into training camp and then a possible rookie season with this guy?
I feel like the SEC is one of the best conference. Is it physical? It's very physical, and then you play against the best teams. We got South Carolina, LSU, all those teams. I feel like it's always been a challenge for it was always a good challenge for me, just going in there knowing that I'm playing against ranked teams every single night, and I had to get ready. And I feel like it prepared me a lot, just getting ready for the WNBA and knowing that some of the girls that I played against and they killed me, but especially Coulibaly and Angel Reese, but just getting a chance to play with them as well is gonna keep me away from getting blocked a lot. So I'm pretty excited for it.
And then Maddie, obviously we know what you can do from a versatile standpoint, but if we want to focus a little bit offensively, you have the ability to score on 3 levels, but it's also your ability to have that mid-range and 3-point shot, which is something the Sky kind of lacked last year. When you look at your offensive game, especially in that mid-range as a stretch forward, what are some things that you believe that you can contribute offensively to the Sky and under a new head coach?
Yeah, we had talked about just the ability to stretch the floor, the ability to be decisive. I know Chicago really likes the ball screen. We talked about, just being able to play off of that, having a point guard like Courtney and Haley, who is so, ball dominant and able to find, their forwards wherever they need to be. I think my ability to find wherever open spots are and to be able to hit wherever I catch it. I think that's going to be really, really valuable. And I'm excited to get better in that area and get better in every spot that I can catch the ball.
We'll go to Steven and then Alyssa.
Hey ladies, welcome to Chicago. Steven Prejean Gardner of CHGO Sports. My first question is going to be for Maddie. So of course you spent a lot of time playing in pick and roll at what people call Guard University at Notre Dame. I think what's hidden in that is the screen and the angles that which you all set ball screens with over there that really helps to unlock the guards, but also unlock your spacing ability. Can you just speak to that process and all of the skill development and film watching that goes into understanding screens and understanding how to do it relative to the coverages on ball and things like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there's an art in setting screens. There's an art in, the level that you're at and your ability to get off the screens quickly. Because, ultimately you're setting a screen for the person coming off of it, but also setting yourself up to be open. And so it's definitely an art. And, working on your feet, working on, being available and ready to catch the ball, ready to shoot and attack as quick as you can off the ball screen. And having point guards in Olivia and Hannah, who, they both play at a very different pace coming off ball screens. Hannah is very quick, very kind of immediate in her attack mode. And so, and then Liv is kind of, she has different levels to it. And so being able to play with such versatile point guards, you know, such dynamic speeds, I think it'll be really good for me to just be able to be dynamic coming off the ball screen.
And then for Aicha, you spent a lot of time at the rim, just being able to get downhill almost whenever you wanted to. I think one of the big things that people look at is the footwork that translates or evolves from the collegiate level to the professional level. Can you speak to your development in that over your collegiate career and where you maybe feel like you are once you're back healthy and ready to implement that on the W level?
Yeah, I got tired of getting blocked every single night. So, and I just used to get, you know, my footwork wasn't the best, you know, just shuffling my feet when I catch the ball because my first move is pretty quick. I just, you know, got in the lab when I went to Texas A&M, just worked with the coaches, and that's all I did, paperwork every single night. So I think it helped me a lot along the way, just, you know, having counter moves in the paint and just not getting blocked every single night. So that was pretty good, you know, coming to the WNBA, and it's gonna be it's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a lot of people that are taller than me, and you know, I just gotta know how to have kind of moves and just attack them every single night. I think it'll be pretty good for me just while I recover and just work on what I need to work on, just my paperwork and just knowing how to have counter moves in the paint. So I'm pretty excited for that.
We'll close out with Alyssa on Zoom. Last question.
Hi guys, nice to meet you. I was hoping you both could reflect on your college basketball seasons that just finished and tell us what you think your college teammates were most proud of you for this season.
You know, sometimes it doesn't end the way you hope. So I feel like I had a great time with my teammates and all that. It was amazing. Our season wasn't the best, but we came to practice every day, ready to play no matter what, the wins or losses, you know, just keep our head up and just take it a day at a time, like one at a time, moving on. And I feel like my teammates are really proud of me, how I led them throughout, before anything happened. I led them the right way and I showed them what it takes to win ball games, and just being there for them where they needed a shoulder, somebody to talk to, and just practice everything every day, giving my 100%, and just telling them it's okay to have a bad day, but you still gotta, you know, do what you have to do and just work hard and keep your head up and just keep going.
Any more from Alyssa?
Oh, I was just hoping Maddie could answer too.
Yeah, I think resilience definitely comes to mind. I feel like I had, you know, like 5 different seasons within this past season, just of, you know, surgery, coming back from that, return to play, getting to play, and then all the highs and lows that come with being on the court. And I think for me, just resilience and consistency, coming in every day, regardless of, you know, the high or the low, and just really getting to work, and the mentality that I had coming in every single day. And, you know, the work that I put in, I think that I left Notre Dame in a place better than when I found it. And I take a lot of pride in that. And, you know, the leadership that I had to be able to unify the team that we had. You know, we had amazing players on the team, and it was unfortunate the way that it ended. But at the same time, you know, I wouldn't trade the relationships that I had for the world. And, you know, the growth that we had throughout the season, individually, but then also, you know, the lessons that we learned. So I think resilience is definitely the word that comes to mind.
Thank you both.
Thank you, everyone.